Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Ren Roberts. I'm so happy that you came to hang out on this Facebook group in the world and share yourself in the other places that it's going to appear to others. This is Ren. Ren Roberts is very inspirational. She's full of joy and incredibly informative. Ren, has said things, sexy things to me like, no unread emails in her inbox, and she works with AI. And I think, oh gosh, help me, because I do try and talk to my chat GPT, but I still haven't managed to get the rapport going. So Ren has a company called Financial Freedom and Fun. Ren, welcome. Tell us about you.
Hello. Thank you so much for bringing me on. I've had the beautiful privilege of being in Allison's world for quite some time. We're business colleagues. She's a fantastic business owner and singer. And we collaborated. We've been talking about AI, and what I love to do is help people to make more money in their businesses. And like, wait, how can we use this technology and create more joy? And that's part of what I stand for.
Which is what we have in common. Joy is rocking, and we love it, don't we?
It really is. We've even got our funny little creatures. She's got her little monkey. I've got my little sloth. And we're going to have some fun with you all. And kind of part of what we're talking about with AI, I know for a lot of people, it's a little scary. Like, oh my goodness. And then it's for other people, they're feeling overwhelmed. I still have what to do online. I have all these things. And now you want me to have another software and learn that?
And people are scared of robots. They're scared of the technological age, but there's actually no avoiding it. So, and it's in our lives already. If you have Alexa or Siri, it's already in your life. It's just everywhere, like actually, and it's been there for a while, hasn't it, Ren?
It sure has. The interesting thing, which I like that it was pointed out, it's like AI before, like Siri, it could do tasks for us that we asked it to do. So it was like our helper. Well, now AI has gone to a way that it's intelligence, we need its help. So that's where it switched in that realm of like, wow, this thing is more intelligence than us. It's all the human intelligence packed into one thing that you can type and communicate with.
Tell us more, because I have been on ChatGPT, and I've asked it to write poems for me. They weren't that good, yeah, tell us how to make the most of this intelligence.
Yes. So the biggest thing to realize, it's very smart, though it's completely literal. And it also generally doesn't have a memory.
Oh,
And
so it's a
so
bit ADHD and autistic.
it is. It's incredibly brilliant. And yet, if it's not properly utilized, it's not going to be a great tool for you. So that's part of, wait, like if you've played with it, if you haven't got good results, then it's something you might want to take another visit with. Because what I like to teach is when we give it some prompts, and I taught a class recently and even have like a little copy paste thing so you can fill out about you. So that way, Allison, you can take some time, and these are about me. This is what I'm my goal. And when you spend those times, now you can copy paste that is your intro every time you use the tool. And
Mhm.
whether you're using it as ChatGPT or Google Bard, which is a really fun one you can play with, or thousands of other ways to use AI, when you have this copy pasted prompt, now each time you're telling it what you need it to do, and as well as this is me. So you have more tailored responses, and it starts to also not waste your time going and sorting through all of the responses that are not valuable to you.
Okay, great. I have sort of tried that. I haven't got the right sentences yet to talk to it in the first place. I've even used it with a client to help them write their bio. We got different bios they already had and put them together and synopsize um but even that language, can you cut this down to 5 lines, please? You have to be very specific, which is in a way, when we think about autism, one of the things about people with autism is that they take things quite literally. So they've got something to teach us that would be quite useful with AI.
Wow, I didn't even put that connection together. Thank you for that brilliance.
Mm. So, what would you recommend to somebody who has never, ever knowingly played with it?
So the first two things is to make sure you have an account. And so like ChatGPT is now known kind of like the Uber of the taxi world. So that's where it's starting to get that name. So there's a lot of things that can do like a ChatGPT, though a ChatGPT is a good place to start. So you just make a free account on something called Open AI. So that's the company that developed this little chatbot that you can use to interact with this giant intelligence. So it's just an interface, basically, like a little tech for you to connect to that little hub of intelligence. So that's one thing. Google Bard is connected to your Gmail account. So you don't even have to make a new account. And it's coming about, I know some countries it's a little more limited. However, I'm pretty sure my UK friends are having success with Bard. So if you haven't used it yet, you can definitely get in there. Though the nice thing about that is it's connected to Google. And so it's really good for search analysis and really fast things. So when we go to Google and you have a lot of records and then you're sorting through it, what AI does is it sifts through all the records and it just gives you a response. So you're not having to do the sifting.
Okay, so but I thought ChatGPT would still be using Google.
Sort of. So there's different caveats. I also love to teach to the free things. So using ChatGPT for free, it does not by default use the internet. And so this is where people, like the software developers, put a whole lot of information into it, though that's capped and it's up to them to update it.
Oh,
And so, like,
interesting.
ChatGPT didn't know that the Queen of England died. Mm.
No. Okay. All right. I'm moving, baby. Well, Google Bard. Wow, that's so interesting. That was ages ago that the Queen of England died.
Yeah. Well, it hadn't been updated in the system. So that's part of it. It's really smart. It can do a lot of things for you, though, like the Chat GPT was programmed with existing data versus like Bard is utilizing the internet. So, like, Chat GPT is great for writing. So it's knowing when your tool's useful. So if you're talking about wanting a biography or some really good kind of writing content, Chat GPT or those kind of ones would be good. If you want to know the latest keywords that are trending so your social media goes on top, that's a Bard question.
Oh, and then when
Yeah.
I was trying to use ChatGPT for my master class, and basically I know there are TED Talks with really interesting facts about how music assists learning. But when I asked Chatty didn't really seem to have up to date information. So I would be better to go over to Bard for stuff like that as well.
Yes. Mhm. So yeah, there's fun ways to do it. And then sometimes using the two of them. You can use Bard to pull in the information and then you go put it into Chatty to write it up really nice. Chat can also, the paid version can handle like 300 pages of data to analyze. The free version, not that long, though you can still get a lot of info into that to process. A fun thing too, you mentioned a TED Talk. So YouTube videos generally would have a transcript.
Yeah.
So what we've done is literally copy paste the transcript, plug it into the AI and say, could you pull out the best quotes? Or what does it say about like specifically what you wanted to do about singing or voice? Like you can ask it to pull out the quotes from the transcript or summarize it.
Okay, brilliant. But what about transcripts from YouTube video? How do you get those?
So on YouTube, generally you're able to view a transcript.
Oh,
So on the
wow.
behind the scenes, when you're looking at a video and you kind of go down into like the more details, there's a thing that says, and you can activate it or just Google, how do you view a transcript on YouTube? So once you view that transcript that's available, then you just copy paste it.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. That's so cool to know. Thank you. I love how
You're
you.
welcome. And then here's a little hint. Like I did this with a 45-minute video. So, oh my gosh, that was too much data for a free plan. So put it in snippets. So you just tell chat, hi, I'm going to be uploading a few sections. Don't start generating until I finish. And so it can process the different snippets. And then you say, okay, they're all uploaded. Please analyze all this data and tell me the best quotes, the summary, whatever it is you want to know.
Well, I mean, that's it. I'm done. That's enough for me today. I've got something precious here. Thank you.
You
I've
are
never,
welcome.
oh my gosh, there's so many good things in the world. Like, oh wow, amazing. So
Yay.
how do you specifically use your genius?
Well, what I love, and that's my company, Financial Freedom and Joy, is where do we start to have the money in this? And that's where the bigger part that I stand for is like the it's not that we want the money, we want the freedom that comes from having money. We have choices over our time, how we spend it, where we spend it, and whom we spend it with. And so that's where looking at with these technologies, where can we start to have more money in it? So this is one of the things I like to say in my class. It's not that AI is going to replace you. It's that someone who's utilizing AI can replace you.
Mm.
And so, where am I using it? Things like my subject lines of my emails. So, if I'm having more people open my emails, and then maybe I have chat help me with the writing inside the emails, then more people are clicking or taking action on what is inside my email, then that would relate to more sales. So, this is, yeah. Are you starting to see that little dot?
Yeah, I have real issues sometimes where I get stuck with the emails. I get stuck on the title, the subject, and the content. And so if I'm stuck on a subject matter, a subject, how would I then so I mean I could look back over my MailChimp and see the ones that had the most opens. And then what do I do with that information in chat? Like how do I take it to chat?
You can copy it and say, here is a prior email of mine. I need to write about such and such class coming up. So like you can give it samples. You can even give it, if you have like a coach or a mentor and their samples, you could plug theirs in. Or a lot of you are probably on other people's marketing lists. So you can just take an email of somebody else and say, I like this email. Here's my email sample. Now can you make a new one? So that's another way, like a sample from a mentor, sample of your past, and then you give that to chat and ask it for whatever it is that you wanted to be talking about. I have a new class coming up. I have a program. I just want to send a nice email that's going to be landing well with people. So whatever your objective, that's part of, you can literally be asking for its help. And then when you put in those samples, it gives it something to work with too.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, thank you so much. I have got a class coming up, so I will I will play with that. That's
Yeah.
really
And
okay.
playing. That's the fun part. And that's what you said at the beginning. It's about fun and it's about playing. And if you feel about these things, chances are you're not going to utilize it. And part of the other thing that we both speak to about joy, if it doesn't feel good, you can take the same action. You can click the same button. You can send out the same email subject line. And if you don't have the joy behind it, you're not going to get the same results.
It's so true. I like to help myself and others find the joy of marketing. Marketing can be fun when you get your flavor and your communication, your style. I've started to sing my marketing and suddenly I feel really good because it's playful and I love to play.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I would say that probably more of you is also equaling better results.
Yes, I think so. I'm super excited to keep going with it. And and it inspired me so much that I made a beat, I made a tune so that I could sing my next marketing on it. And then that made me get back into making music again. I'm like, okay, I can make music to do marketing on. And then I'm like, for my next masterclass, I'm gonna put some music on for people to get creative to, and it will be what I've created. And it's like, yay.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love hearing this. And for those in my world that might not know you, Allison, you are amazing. Do you want to just share a little bit about what you do? Because you talk about a class, the what the heck is this class? And how is it your magic and sprinkling in the world?
Um, I feel like I want to sing it to you. Let's see if I can do it. It's always
Please.
good. There's a
Yes.
bit of music in the background.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, this is amazing.
I know, right? But let's see if we can do it. It's risky, but it's worth it. Hang
Yes.
on. All right. So let me think. I'm gonna go for this one. You have to use your own music because otherwise, basically, I'll just get to the end.
I can hear it just fine.
I'm gonna do it from there. Oh my God, I've only got 30 seconds. I help people to understand their beauty. I help you to know that you are special. Your unique way is the way I want to see. I want to hear you come from your heart. Talk to me. That'll do. But yeah, everyone's beautiful, and and often they don't dare to show how beautiful they are because they have some kind of blockage to expressing themselves because our beauty is often quite vulnerable and soft and gentle. And so I like to help people to feel strong enough to share their beauty, their gifts in the world, whether it's in their personal relationships, in their businesses, or in their, what else is there? Personal relationships, businesses,
That's a lot.
yeah, but in their relationship with themselves as well, because sometimes, like for example, people pleasers don't even know what they need and like. So I like to get people to give permission to their voice to really express what's going on for them, and like for example, people who need to market themselves these days, business, you need to know who's behind every business. So they, a lot of people have shyness around that. So many people are holding on to the most amazing treasure, like and they just don't dare to bring it out, and there's a lot of fear. And what I notice more than anything amongst the people that come towards me is that they're scared of hurting people, and they're scared of being judged, and they're scared of being ostracized, which kind of comes from those two. And so yeah, I love to encourage them to see how potent and creative, and how not alone they are. We have so much in common, and the only way we can really find that out is we could start revealing a little bit more about ourselves. So that's the sort of thing I do with my clients in my workshops. It's just amazing when people feel safe, which is essential to share of themselves. Then what happens is we all lean in. We all lean in because we all want to feel love, and we all want to be loved, and we all know love somewhere.
Hmm. And what a treasure to work with literally the lady of love herself, Alison Love David. And you're a singer, and I think it's so beautiful that it's like it's not that someone has to be a singer, though it's utilizing your voice and that like you're unleashing your true voice. I love that. And it's like who else to guide you though? A beautiful songstress herself.
And the thing is, music is useful. So even people who don't sing, like, or don't even have any intention to sing, music is super useful. Music helps you to learn better. It lights up parts of your brain, like, and also, for example, I was thinking about ABC, the song that everybody knows. Yeah,
Mhm.
that helps. We know that song because it's been given to us many times, but also because it's so simple. And so we can use music in the most basic way to help train our minds. And, in order to be your liberated self, there is some mind training that needs to happen. And so using music is super useful. So whether or not people dare to sing, they could even rap or say things with rhythm. I met this woman, and she was in a speaking choir, and they just all spoke. She was a choir leader for, I can't think what the word is, but they all talk. They
I've
say
never even
poetry.
heard of a talking choir. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Rhythm is super powerful as well. Words, rhythm. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. And like the word choice is something that I really go on for people. Is like when we're talking about things like AI. If you're like, I always have trouble with technology. It's just so hard. Well, then that's going to be your experience with this technology.
Yes, I say the same thing because words have so much power, and in those the three religions that come from the Old Testament, in the beginning was the word, like that's it's an initiator of things, and so saying, "Oh yeah, I'm terrible at technology. I hate technology." It's like technology says, "Don't hate me." It's like I kiss my computer. I
Oh, that's
thank
a
I thank ChatGPT.
yep. And at the same time, if you're like, oh, it's always terrible, then you get to be right about your experience. That's the nice thing about humans. You get to be right, just you might not want to be right about what you're right about.
Amen, sister.
So I would say being in our two worlds is definitely a place to raise yourself up and make sure that you're having that authentic joy coming through. And we do that in so many fun ways. And I think that's part of the blessing of being around in business is like we get to choose who we're surrounding ourselves with and take care of our mindset. And that's where I'm like, hey, there's a little tip that might help you all grow in your business around AI or things. And Allison's saying, hey, here's a tip to help you get your voice more out and get more things. So these are the things that we bring to the world, and we're very happy to invite you to those things too.
Yeah, because cooperation is the way forward. And these days, the way business runs, there's so much free stuff happening. So I know that you do some workshops that are free, and I'm like, I missed the last one. I'm like, oh God, I can't wait for the next one, so I can glean all this information. And even these masterclasses, the other day, one of the other sisters in our business mentorship, she gave a 3 day class, and luckily it was online for a few days afterwards, and even though I missed it live, I went on some drives and I had it playing, and I learned so much. And there's just so much content rich availability for us right now. And yeah, I encourage everybody, I encourage everyone who's watching this Facebook live, grab it. It's there for you. We don't like, yes, you can pay and get to the next level of everything, but there's so much free stuff. There's no reason that we can't be drinking information and expanding
Mm.
with it.
Yes. And the fun part in this world is there usually can be a financial payoff to that as well. So that's where we can see when we are working in alignment, then the rewards come through in alignment too.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
we'll make sure. I actually have, well, so many people over the holidays are busy. I've left my training up for like still because everyone's like, please. So I'll put the link. So I don't know when I'll take it down. All I can say is people are so busy at this moment. I'm leaving it up because the bigger thing is to get the information in front of people. So you can have the replays. You can check all that out. I also, all my upcoming trainings go live in my Facebook group. So you can make sure to get in the Facebook group. So I'll drop links to that as well. And then, Allison, how do people connect with you for things? We'll make sure your links are there too.
Yeah, my Facebook group is called Free Your True Voice. And yeah, people can, well, the upcoming classes will be on there. That's not till the end of the month, between Christmas and New Year's. So, um, but I'll keep that on for a little while. I'm not sure how long. It depends how vulnerable everyone gets in the workshop, because it is a very vulnerable topic. But yeah, I love, so people can join in there, and then whenever I do a live event, it usually shows up in there. And there's lots of tips and tricks as well. I'm so glad that you're keeping yours online, because I was really thinking, oh, I missed Ren, so now I won't.
Yes, I need. I'll make sure that all of those reminders go out to let people know it's still there and it's still amazing. So there's two parts. The first part is, especially if you're new to AI, make sure you start with the part one. Allison, you can always go through part one. I know we're busy people, so if you can only, because you've been in class before, so you can always hear new tips and latest. You can speed through it on like 1.25 speed too. That's a hint. Though part two is where the magic it really goes deep deeper into some amazing tips and tricks. And I also then talk in there my favorite thing, which is cash flow. So ideas to get more passive income coming out. So like I know the beautiful Alison has her amazing like sound baths. So ways like you can do more passive incomes, you could take ChatGPT and say, what are some keywords around this? Where are descriptions of this? So these are different ways that for business owners to start thinking more on our passive results too, or here's my marketing, or here's my blog that can get me on the front page of Google. What words should I put in Bard? So these are where we can start to use AI to give us the lasting income streams that we're looking for as well. So that's what I talk a lot about in part 2.
Okay, that sounds very interesting. So yeah, because with my baths, my it's quite hard for me to get people to understand, for example, that I'm not looking at them naked in the bath or whatever. And and so yeah, I mean, often I write something different in each Facebook post that I post it, but so I could, so what, how would that work that I would?
Well, I would say, even in that terms, this is where you have a highly intelligent little being at your fingertips. So if you're asking and saying, here's some of my past descriptions, people are concerned, and you can literally tell it these things. They think they might have to, be on camera in the bathtub. So putting that in there, maybe actually what's coming to mind, you have a little FAQ section on your page that talks about the sound baths. So then if you have the FAQ, all of that could have those kind of questions. And ChatGPT has written my FAQs on sites before. So you can literally take in, here's my descriptions from some past things. Here's some questions and concerns people ask. Could you write me an FAQ page? Could you? And things like that.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So I have one more question for you, if we got
Oh,
time.
please. I love this.
How on earth did you get your email inbox down? I'm looking at my computer now. This is just the Gmail, and it says 6,746 unread messages.
Okay. Well, that's a starting point. I've heard of way higher numbers. Just like, so we're all good there. So part of what I love to do, this is not so much a ChatGPT thing, though there's some automation we can put in, is I love to use labels in my Gmail. So is that something that you know or are using in your inbox yet?
No.
Ooh. So labels for me, there's different ways. So for example, you, Alison, have your own label in my inbox because I'm on your email list and you send me emails. So then I have my little Alison label, and then it also is nicely subcategorized, so I know you're a colleague of mine. So I have like my little colleagues, and then everyone has their label if I'm on their email list. So that's one part of that. So now from the label sense, I keep track of who they are. I put a little automation so I don't have to label you every time. So when your email comes into my box, it already says that it's Alison.
Where are
So
the labels? Is that, do you have to do it on the Google browser, not in your...
it's on the Gmail side of it. So usually on the left-hand side, under where it says like inbox, sent mail, spam, keep going and you start to see labels. In the old days, it was folders. And so what I like, they're similar to folders, though a folder in general, even if it's digital, you would think an item would go into one folder. A label, you can have multiple labels on the same thing. So something you might show up under my Alison label, though it also, you might show up, let's say if in this case you were giving like a technology tip. So I might put tech tip on your email if it was a technology tip. So now when I look into labels and I see Alison, your email would be there. And if I go look at technology, your email would appear there too. Does that make sense? Like if you had multiple labels?
I get that. And so
Okay.
it's a bit like tags.
Yes, exactly. There you go. So they call it a label in Gmail, exactly like tagging. So the first thing that I do when you start to put those labels or tags on, then you can feel good about finding them again. So once you put those labels, then you hit the archive button, if you've seen and utilized that. So that's where instead of just deleting the email, once it has a label, I hit archive. So now I don't see it in my inbox. It's not that 6,000 anymore. You're over in an Alison folder.
Oh, you
or
still
well,
have to click. You still have to click it into.
or you search for, I just search for Alison and now all of yours comes up so that I can find it again easily, though it's not visually sitting in my inbox anymore with that 6,000.
Okay. All
So
right.
that's the first layer. There's a few more tricks, though. Once you put labels on, that's going to help you to feel comfortable that you can find them again and hit the archive button.
Okay. But does that mean that Alison sends you an email, then you have to label it every time, or is there a way for
I've
it?
set up, yeah. So there's automation. That's something called a filter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have the automation come through. So every time that you send me an email, it's already labeled.
Mm.
And so that way, when it comes in, then I can look at it, I can keep it, I can view it. And if I want to keep it, I can archive it. And now I don't have to wonder where it went. I can go find them again. So things like I have labels for my bookkeeping and receipts. I have a label called urgent, and that has a red color because you can put colors on your labels. So when I use that label, it's right there in my inbox, flashing red that it's urgent until I take that label off of it.
Mm. Okay, I can see that that one just is wonderful, but it still makes me glaze over. I want to have someone who does stuff for me. I
Oh,
I wrote a wish list the other day in my Facebook group. I set a challenge that we wrote a letter from the universe saying, "Dear Alison," one of the things mine said is, "Dear Alison, um, your yes, you can have a PA, personal assistant, secretary, 20 hours a week. Expect her to knock on your door next Thursday. Love from the universe," something like that.
hooray. Well, you have 2 days then.
Yeah.
So perfect. This gives you 2 days to start thinking about email labels because as soon as you add the virtual assistant, those labels now make so much sense to her or him or them, though your assistant can now take over this organization.
So I can
And
say to
that's
my assistant, every time you see an email from Alison, AlisonDavid.com, put it in the Alison folder, please. And they can do it for me.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay,
So
great.
that's where starting to put those things down. And that's where I would say, I love all my colleagues. In general, I don't need to see all of their emails. So that's where I can train her. If there's certain people, I'll tell them, hey, I have a class for Allison coming up. Make sure her emails stay. Though in general, most of those things, I like rather than just deleting them. I mean, that could be too. Like if somebody comes in with this label, you can always delete it. So like there's one on that, though this is where the labels start to translate to the assistant, and that's where they can keep it. And then my assistant's job, like I have people hired that they're the ones who keep my inbox at zero. I
Oh,
can work my own system, and you can have somebody else work your system once there is a system.
yeah, that's right. Creating systems.
Yep.
I now find that sexy.
Yes. Well, you want to know the sexiest button out there in your inbox?
Mm.
For me, it's the snooze button. Are you aware of that one?
No, because I do my emails from my Apple devices. So
You can do it too. So, and that it's not quite as easy, though you download the Gmail app.
right, yeah.
And it works the same way. So, what I generally, that's part of my hands off, is I have my email on my phone. I can see if something comes in, or sometimes I'm swamped and I don't see it. Well, the assistant is cleaning it up on her end. And then just to throw out the extra layer on that is I use a program called Slack for messaging. Okay, so you're kind of familiar. So it's a work app. And
Mm.
so what she does is her job is she takes a picture, a screenshot of what my email looks like when she comes in for the day. So there might be like 30 emails or 50, whatever. So she shows me the screenshot so I can see what everything was. And then if there's something I specifically need to read, she'll send me a picture of inside that email. And then she sends the last picture that shows now there's three. And those three are for you to deal with, Ren. And lots of times she'll even have forwarded it to my personal box so I don't physically have to go into that work box.
Oh, I love the sound of it. That just is my next fantasy.
Yes. To and fantasy to theory to reality. So you're on that creation wheel.
Dear, dear Alison from the universe, your wonderful woman is, or no, whatever the gender is, your wonderful person is waiting for your next prompt because she is dying to empty your inbox. So get ready. Love from
Yes.
the universe.
Yeah. So go get some labels done so then that way she has something to work with.
I ain't gonna be
Because
doing
you're
that.
asking for it. And so now you have to make sure that your bucket is ready to catch this rain.
I still got 100 million other things I need to do before the labels. It's just I have been understanding since that my friends have been understanding they have ADHD and have explained some of their situations. There are certain things I cannot do alone, and so I have help and somebody there to witness me. Even like co-working, it's called body doubling that they so having somebody there at the same time, and it's like, okay, let's get down to it. And even though we're doing it alone, we're together. I have a song about that. We can be alone together. And so, yeah, that's how I get stuff done. And so I still have this many things that I would do before I do the labels. But um, yeah,
But
because
you started to plant the label. So the thing is, you don't have to do it now, though. Now you realize, and you can even be like, my assistant's coming. I ordered her by Thursday. Maybe I can make one label by Thursday.
oh, she's got lots of things to do when she gets here. I want her to be in person as well. Do you have yours in a different time zone? Is your
I have assistants from, I just had a new hire come in. Well, she worked with me before. So now I have, let's see, Pakistan, Philippines, Australia, Jamaica, and like North Carolina, Louisiana,
how many helpers have you got?
Houston, a lot.
Oh, that's my dream. That is so my dream. One for every time zone. So you have 24 hours, one for each different task. Oh, that's
Yes. And
so
the things, some people are really good for the emails. Another person's helping with the social media. Another one's helping with this. So it's like looking also at the skill sets for the people. And looking at all of those things and also like, wow, these are a lot of people's lives that I get to help around the world.
That's right. That's what, the first thing as I make more money. Well, I'm for, really, as the money comes in, I'm going to be paying all the help I already have. And then the next bit of money comes in, I'm going to be paying some more people. Well, I mean, it's right on my list of, yeah, everyone benefits. I benefit, everyone benefits. Well, yeah, team
And
benefit.
that's what we bring to the world, right? It's like, the more that we create, the more that it creates and ripples for everyone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, yay. Well, as you know, it's a beautiful realm now that you're like, I can see the possibilities. So I can almost guarantee that you're an action taker. So by this time next year, I don't think you're going to be sitting here with 6,000 unread emails in your box.
You are so right, sister. Just checking now, just in case anybody's left a comment on our group, but they
Ah,
haven't, so that's good. Because if they had, it'd be nice to respond. Yeah, this time next year, that feels so sexy. Do you think you have 10 helpers?
yes. Probably that's a safe thing to say. And or coming, I just hired 2 people in the past 2 days because there's so many people. Like I need more support. And so for me to support more people, I need more support. So all of that duality comes about.
Yeah, girl. Oh, yes. That's really cool. And you can remember what each person's job is. I bet you have a wonderful filing system.
Getting there, and that's where Slack also helps because that's kind of I can talk to different people on different projects. So Slack is a great one, like kind of you put some organization in your emails. Well, this puts some organization in your workflow communicating with people, so that's where that Slack helps.
But you still
Pick up
have
the
Slack.
slack.
You have Slack, you have email, you have Messenger, you have WhatsApp, you have Telegram as well.
It's not active. Voxer is the active one, so some people get me on Voxer.
I don't think we have that here yet.
Oh, actually, it's my UK group that's on Voxer, so I know you
Oh,
have it there.
okay. All right. Okay. Interesting. All right.
Yep, yep. So I think and that's the kind of thing that it's like, where is it that it meets people? Where is it that it meets me? And it's that balance. And also, like, where do we take time for ourselves? Where do we find our joy? And it's that beautiful balance of support and intentionality.
Mm. Well, you've given me lots of food for thought, and I feel very privileged to have shared this wonderful time with you. And I'm excited for the next step of my outgoings.
Yeah.
Yes, my offerings in the world. So yeah, I have my masterclass is on the 28th, 29th, and 30th of December. The 30th is my birthday, so I'm doing it for my birthday. We have a same mentor, and she often shares her information. She like works with us on her birthday because she loves what she does, and it's my birthday present to offer my teachings.
Oh my gosh. So that link's gonna be there. I would love to be in your birthday class, so I'm gonna make sure, and I'm hoping that the timing is it good for like what time is it
It,
UK your thing? Or is
I did it. I had a sense to do it at 11 a.m. my time. That's 3 in the morning for you, so
that's
no.
okay.
It'll be on the
Replay.
Facebook group. You can do it on replay, but I will do something for Californian access in January. But this time I just thought I'm gonna do 11 a.m. I try out different times, 11, and I'm also learning to listen to these voices that say, try 11. And
Yep.
when it keeps saying try 11, try 11, I'm just gonna do it. So
Oh my gosh. Well, I love that. I actually normally hold my classes at 11 a.m. because I have everyone together for their 11/11 gratitude moment.
oh yes, I can do that too.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
that's why I always do 11. And sometimes like I have an Australia event. Actually, I have an event coming up like after yours. And that's like a collaborator in Australia. So ours is like that would be the middle of the night for you.
Mm,
So
mm,
isn't that
mm.
fun?
But your 11 suits me well. Yeah. So no,
Yeah,
that's
but
fine.
my two probably not so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. I
Well,
am so
thank
glad. We'll make sure that all of these links are here. And if you're listening to this sometime in the future and it's 2024, make sure you're still connecting in our groups because there's always amazing things coming up. So if this current event that we're talking about doesn't work, make sure you stay connected in our world so you know the latest.
absolutely. And let's make 2024 amazing. Let's really give wholeheartedly and receive wholeheartedly and birth the best world we've ever lived in together.
Yes. Oh my gosh, for sure. I am so excited going into 2024 with you. That'll be so exciting. And have a wonderful, happy birthday right before that.
Thank you. Bless you. It's been
Awesome.
wonderful to have
Well,
you, Ren
great.
Roberts,
Yeah,
here.
so great to connect with you. And for any of our viewers that have watched this long, thank you so much. Make sure to leave us some loves and also send this to somebody. If you think this would be helpful, you can send them a DM or a link to the video, and that would be able to help more people. So thank you for helping them.
Yes, I would love to read your comments. I'm sure both Ren and I will respond if you do comment. And I love the idea of you sharing it with other people. This is the concept that is strong in the bones. Sharing is caring.
Sure is. Oh, aloha, everyone, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day and happy holidays.
Okay, bye bye, beautiful. Thank you.
Bye.